Hello, my dear viewers. My name is Draco. I am the animator behind all the creative works on this channel, whether it be 3D animation or 2D animation, for which I use artificial intelligence rendering, which is commonly known as AI. So, today I want to talk about the very bad situation that we face now concerning AI, concerning the hatred that has built up all over the place, in internet, in real life, everywhere. So, let's start with the basics, because the very foundation of all of this is that people who hate AI know nothing about AI. They don't know how it works, they don't know what its databases are made from, and they have no idea how artificial intelligence produces that pieces of creative work that then become pictures or videos or music or anything or so on. So first I will explain how artificial intelligence actually works, and then I will step by step explain why hating AI is stupidity. It's simple human stupidity, because they hate what they don't know how works. So it's a classic human situation. They hate everything that they do not understand. Same situation was when the photography was invented in 19th century. Artists started drama that the photography will destroy art, it will destroy everything. Well, 2 centuries have passed, and I don't see destroyed artists and destroyed artworks because of photography. The very same situation happened when digital imaging appeared. Photoshop, Corel, and CGI. Do you know that one of the first movies that uses computer graphic animation, CGI, it is called Tron, and it was released by Walt Disney in 1980. And Academy Award was denied for that movie because American Motion Picture Academy said that computer graphics is not a real animation, it's cheating. So, the very first movie that paved the way for everything we know today as Hollywood, for everything we know today is special effects, as blockbusters, everything from Star Wars to Jurassic Park to Game of Thrones, everything. This is cheating, this is not animation. That's what bright heads from American Academy thought in 1980. The very same thing happens now. People do not understand what is AI, and they hate it because it is a trend. It's trendy to hate artificial intelligence. This drives me mad, because I am creator. I create stories. I am a storyteller. My goal is to produce the best possible story. And to produce the best possible story, I must use whatever tools I have in my possession, whether it be Unreal Engine, whether it be Blender, whether it be Real Illusion Character Creator 4, or whether it be Elon Musk's Grok, or, since Elon Musk closed Grok for creators, now it's my local neural network LTX. So, artificial intelligence, 3D, hand-drawn animation, pen, Photoshop, or even a sheet of paper. All of these are tools to allow artist to realize his vision. I have a vision inside my head. I have a story about my dragons that I want to share. In order to share my story, I use tools. Sometimes I use pen, sometimes I use Photoshop, sometimes I use 3D tools like Blender or Unreal. And nowadays I use artificial intelligence because AI gives me opportunities that only studios with millions of dollars could use before. Take a look at this. How do you think a single animator without any kind of budget, without any kind of help, how much time it will take for me to produce something like this? This movie is 1 hour and 10 minutes long. That's 180,000 frames. 180,000 pictures. To draw these pictures by hand, it will take me, if I draw one picture in an hour, without rest, without sleep, without anything, it will take me 27 years of non-stop drawing. So I guess you can see now why 2D animation until the very recent times was completely made only by big studios. No independent animator or even small independent studio could afford. I'm not even talking about the full meter. I'm not even talking about the an hour movie or an hour and a half movie. I'm talking about even the 10-minute movie, 10 minutes animated movie. To produce it by hand, it would take more than a year, even to a team with several people. My 3D movie, Animal Planet 2, it took me almost half a year. And I was working from 6 o'clock in the morning to the midnight without any kind of rest, without weekends. This movie drives me crazy. It squeezed me every last bit of energy from me. And this was not hand-drawn animation, this was 3D, so it was much easier than 2D animation, where you actually draw every frame. But right now we're not talking about the frames, about animation, we're talking about the tools. So, as a storyteller, as an author, I must use whatever tools I have in my possession, whether it be 3D or whether it be artificial intelligence. So, those imbeciles who goes to my comment sections of my channels and write, "You create AI slop" or something like that, those imbeciles, first of all, they have absolutely no right to even ask, what tools do I use? It's not their business. And no, it's not anyone's business. As long as I am not using some other's work and tell that it is mine. As long as I create my own work, it's not their business what tools do I use. Point. It ends here. There's nothing more to say. So, let's step by step talk about why those imbeciles hate artificial intelligence and why their hatred is stupid. First, step number 1, the main thing that those people speak about AI is that it steals real artists' works. That databases of artificial intelligence are made up from millions of real pictures, real illustrations, real books or real music that AI scans, then it mixes up in some mysterious ways, and then uses a bit from here, a bit from here, a bit from here, creating something that is technically not belongs to anyone, but in reality is created from pieces of others' work. So it's stealing. And the most common example that they show of this is when on the AI generated images we see fragments of artists' signatures. It's very common thing in early days. It was very common thing in early days of artificial generation networks. Now, let's dive a little inside the thing of how in reality artificial intelligence works. So, every artificial intelligence generative network uses latent space, which is filled with noise. What does it mean? It means that the algorithms of algorithm is a way the network works. So the neural network algorithms create noise from all the data that it has inside its database. This noise to your eyes will look like this. This is what you're looking at now is a process of generating image from latent noise. What it means? It means that artificial intelligence does not copy other images, other parts of other images. It does not do this. It reads your prompt, so it understands what it should look for inside the noise cloud. For example, if you are writing in your prompt that you want to see a white dragon standing on a cliff, the AI starts searching inside that noise cloud, not for the ready-made white dragons. It is searching for patterns that can combine from that noise cloud into a white dragon. The white dragons that you will receive may resemble some white dragons are painted by real artists, especially if you're using LoRa. LoRa is an addition to the main database that contains training data for one specific topic. For example, I can take all the illustrations from my books made by a real artist called Elf. I can train LoRa on these images, and then if I describe in my prompt something that is very similar to images of Elf, I will receive new image that resembles these images, but it will not be stolen parts from image. It won't be an application of stolen pieces, not at all. It will be created from noise latent space, created from vacuum, and only resembling the real thing, resembling, not copying it. Okay. Second question about artificial intelligence. Why there are sometimes artists, signatures of artists? This is the very same reason why you receive white dragon when you write a prompt, I want a white dragon on a cliff. Because artificial intelligence deals with a lot of pictures of white dragons, and most of these pictures have signature. It thinks that signature is the same part of your prompt that is the white dragon, because artificial intelligence is not intelligent. AI is not sentient. It's not intelligent at all. AI is unbelievably stupid. The only thing why artificial intelligence makes those miracles that we see is because of the incredible speed that it can work with data. It's just a new algorithm of working with data. It's not a robot. It's not things that can think. Because most of the people who hate artificial intelligence never ever tried to work with it. And I am working with it for more than a year already. not more than a year, almost a year already. And I, as with everything that I do, when I work with something, I go deep. So I'm not TikTok level creator. I'm not using CapCut. If I'm working with video, I need to work with Fusion. I need to work with DaVinci. I need to work with real tools. And to work with real tools, you need to know how they work. You cannot learn how to work with artificial intelligence. You need to learn how artificial intelligence works. And when you know that, you can create something with it. A lot of people who are actually watching my movies cannot believe how could I create an hour and a half movie with consistent characters, with the same sounding voices, with beautiful songs, and most importantly, with the consistent story. They saying that how do you do it? How did you do it? Well, the same way I did my 3D works. Patience, and motivation. I'm a dragon. I love dragons. Dragons give me meaning in life, and therefore, every tool that I can use to bring my dragons to life becomes very important to me, as happened with artificial intelligence, and that's why it drives me mad when I see those imbeciles writing comments that AI slop, or why you use AI, or do not use AI. Of course, I ban such imbeciles immediately, but it breaks my nerves every time. It drives me crazy and mad when I see this, because if there is one thing that I hate with all my heart, is stupidity. When people try to say something about the subject that they do not know how it works, this drives me crazy. I wanna strangle those people. I wanna kill them, everyone. Not because I'm maniac. I'm not maniac, but because it drives me very, very, very mad. Okay, next question. How video works? How video artificial intelligence works? Now, this is the most interesting part, because most artists, even after they are explained about the latent cloud of data, in that artificial intelligence does not copy anything, it just finds the parts that resemble prompt inside the cloud of noise. So most of the artists, even if they understand this, they pay no attention to arguments, they pay no attention to words, to explanations. They are determined that artificial intelligence, the generative art from artificial intelligence, is stolen, and most importantly, that the generative art of artificial intelligence takes from them their life meanings. It takes from them what they are used to do. So let's go back to the video networks. So even if we put aside the generative networks like Stable Diffusion or Midjourney, or more recently Qwen-Image and Flex, if we put them aside, so if we completely get rid of image generation, if we use only the real photos or real drawn by hand images and turn them into videos, what kind of stupid imbecile may think that video, that animated real image that was drawn by real artist or shot with photo camera by myself and then animated using a tool, What kind of imbecile can think that this is AI generated content? This is not generated content, this is animated content. I add disclaimer to all my videos that please be aware that my videos are not AI generated, because I do not use generated images, generated references. I use I use my 3D models of my dragons with AI that turns them into 2D models. For example, my blue dragon is Hayate, that you can see here. This is her 3D model, and this is that 3D model turned into 2D image for 44 dragon rules. So these are my characters. These are my 3D models created by me, not stolen by anyone, not put in AI database by anyone. From the very beginning to the very end, this is created by me, the very same way as if I have drawn them, all of them, by pen or by pencil. The only difference is that I have a machine that, instead of me, creates all the in-between animation frames. So I create first frame, I create last frame, sometimes I also create middle frames, and then artificial intelligence draws the frames in between, and this is what gives me an opportunity to create huge animation movies alone in reasonable time, because you simply cannot even begin to walk into the animation if you are alone, if you don't have millions of dollars, if you don't have a studio. Even though YouTube is full of animation channels, and there are a lot of animators who put their works made usually with Flash or sometimes with Adobe Animator or something like that. But this is the very same thing that I was doing with Unreal. So the only difference is that I used 3D models, that I draw trajectories, how they should walk. Then I recorded my own movements in motion capture system, translated these movements into FBX 3D file, and put this animation on the 3D model. So the only difference was that in 3D space, I used first point of trajectory, last point of trajectory, and animation. While using artificial intelligence, I'm using first reference image, last reference image, and detailed prompt description of how my 3D model should be animated while it walks from the first reference image to the last. This is not generated content. This is animated content. Everyone who writes in YouTube comments or speaks in some stupid YouTube videos, or even pretends to be some kind of expert and speaks that, oh, AI slop videos will kill the internet, and so on and so on. These people do not understand this very simplest thing. AI cannot create anything. AI is stupid. You have no idea how stupid it is. It drives me mad. It is way easier to animate in Unreal, to animate by hand in Unreal, than to animate a reasonable story inside Grok, for example. I spent 10 times more nerves and 10 times more energy creating Cursed with Happiness than I could spend creating the very same movie in Unreal. But I could never create 2D animation in Unreal. I cannot create such a beautiful image in Unreal. So artificial intelligence gives me better opportunities to realize my vision. It does not create vision for me. I do not use ChatGPT to write my screenplays. I create my movies based on my books that I have written before, not even artificial intelligence, before Unreal even existed. But this is not what I was talking about. What I am really talking about right now is that people who speak about AI slope, who speak about the low quality animation content, low quality artificial intelligence content, and since I'm now very often being in some artificial intelligence chats, in some forums, in the society of AI creators, I enter there and I see what kind of real AI slope it is full of. And I see the channels that are full of standard, conveyor-made, stupid videos, stupid AI slope videos that have zero value, that have zero effort put to them. I, for example, I have seen a channel of some guy who has 40 channels, and he was sharing the technology of how to automate video creations with ChatGPT writing screenplays. These screenplays automating inside some AI aggregator, that aggregator creating videos, that videos then automatically editing in another AI editor, and everything automatically uploaded to YouTube 10 times a day in every channel, and he is making about $100,000 a month on this. I made $62 in 16 years working on my dragon stories by hand, and this bastard is making $1,000 per month by pushing a button. That is what I am trying to explain. That AI slope is not created by artificial intelligence. It is created by humans. It is created by people. People without conscience, people without talent, people without any creativity, people who do not care of what they create. Those people are making money. And as any human in history who is making money, they are doing everything for this. These are the same people that hunt dolphins. These are the same people that go and kill the last remaining some animal from the red book to serve it in some Asian restaurant for $100,000. These are the same people who traffic stolen women and stolen children into Africa and into Asia. People without conscience who are doing money. They have no breaks. They do everything. Whatever. Sometimes my mind is literally blown when I see to what lows a human being can go in order to deceive, in order to lie to someone, in order to force to get someone's money. For example, let's take a look what YouTube is doing to us, to creators. Yes, my channel is demonetized, but have they removed their advertisements from my videos? No. My inauthentic content is fine for YouTube to make money on it. It's not fine for them to share money with the actual author. Yes, they do not want to give me those $10 or $15 that my movies make, but it is perfect fine for them to place their advertisements over my videos and continue taking all my money to them because my content is inauthentic, but it's perfect for them to make money on. Our world is very fast becoming critically unbearable. It happens everywhere, in every point. Whenever you can see, it's evil. Everywhere, evil. Subscriptions, payment, subscription payments, idiotic laws, fines, blocks, VPNs, politics, everything. I really don't know where it's going to end, but as long as aliens are not coming to save us, which I really doubt they are, the only real hope for humanity to continue existing and not turning into some dystopia that we are all used to watch in post-apocalyptic movies. I think the only solution for us is artificial intelligence. Of course, not the video creating networks or images. I'm talking about singularity. I'm talking about the day when artificial intelligence will be not strong enough, will be smart enough to take over us. And as with every smart being, we as lesser beings, can never guess its motivation. We can never guess what it will do to us or to everyone else. All the theories that after singularity, artificial intelligence will destroy us, or will turn us into slaves, or will create a matrix to turn us into batteries, or much more realistically to turn us into servers for neural network training. All these theories are created by our minds, and our minds are limited. What in reality what will happen when singularity comes, and it will come, it's no question about it. It will come in several years, if it's not already here. I think it's already here, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But when it comes, the first thing we all need to remember very clearly: superior beings are not humans multiplied by 2. So when we are reading some about ancient gods, or some religions, or some superhumans, or Superman, or Batman, or something like that, all we got is the same human, but with some additional abilities. All of them use the same human thinking. They are all bound not only by our intellect, but also by our culture, also by our so-called polite correctness. And of course, all of this is a mass culture. All of this is created simply to calm down people who see injustice, who see evil, and they can do nothing about it. Like I can do nothing about my channel being demonetized and hundreds of other channels being demonetized. I can talk about it, and it's all I can do. But how to calm down people who see evil, people who see injustice and can do nothing about it? We create a story for them. We create a hero for them. We create a god for them. The God that says, oh, you just wait. In this world, everything is very bad. But when you die, you are going to a better world. Yeah, and try to prove it. Yeah, and try to check out if this is not a black PR, so-called. It's the very same thing. Are all superheroes, are all normal heroes. Everything. Our world is fundamentally not suited for the way of how to say it. Our world is not suited for the things that we humans consider to be good. Our intelligence, so our culture, the things that our culture considers to be good, things that our culture considers to be perfect and ideals to follow, these things are not compatible with how the world works. Because if they were compatible, we would see them everywhere. For example, movie The Lion King. In reality, when new male lion drives away the old male lion, he kills all the lion cubs because it is logically correct to kill every cub, so his cubs the newborn cubs that he will sire with the lionesses, they will continue to bear his genetic line. So it is logical and it is evolutionary correct. But to us, to our culture and to our understanding, this is terrible. And it does not mean that this is not correct. It means that our thought of what is correct is not compatible with the world. And we can do nothing about it. Because if we try to change ourselves to be compatible with the world, to ourselves we will become monsters. We will become monsters in our own eyes if we start to act the way nature wants us to act. And you know why? Because nature is blind. Nature is just like artificial intelligence. Nature is that exact latent cloud of noise. And when evolution creates something, when evolution finds the gene, finds the very thing that works in this exact environment, it is simply the very same process that neural network use to find the correct part of a white dragon on a cliff from latent cloud of noise. The network does not know what dragon is. It does not know what is white dragon on a cliff. It does not know this. It has a prompt. It has algorithms that say that this combination of pixels resembles the patterns that in our database is called a dragon. So we will take this combination of pixels, and we'll take this combination of pixels, and this combination of pixels, and then we will have the number of pixels on the screen. And that's it. Number of pixels on the screen. AI doesn't know that it is a dragon. I know that it is a dragon. I am the user, the artist who created the prompt to get white dragon from artificial intelligence. For artificial intelligence, it is just several pixels on the screen. Nothing more. Oh, I'm talking for 40 minutes already, and I was planning this video to be short. So, please, before hating something, learn something. Try to understand how things work. And when you understand this, when you know how things work, in most of the cases, you will find that you simply have no reason to hate it. You will understand that artificial intelligence is a tool. It's a magical tool. It's a magical wand that is given to you. And if you create AI slop from it, it is not the wand's fault. It is not fault of the technology. It is fault of the user of the technology. Always. Technology itself is dead. Whatever evil comes from technology comes from the human who uses it, not from the technology itself. Do not be luded. General Lud, it is a famous tech haters from the beginning of the revolution, the technical revolution in England. I will explain it here. Okay. Well, it was much longer than I hoped, but I think I made my point. And if someone really watched to this place, thank you. I'm really happy that somebody may find me and my talking head of some interest. Thank you and goodbye. Preko, that's me. Bye.